And now, from beyond our dimension, this is the JeffMara podcast. Here's Jeff.
My guest is Narcizo from Brazil, who during his near-death experience was shown activities that we do on the other side and that we never die. Narcizo, thank you for joining me and welcome.
Well, that's my pleasure. I'm so honored to be here with you.
Well,
It took me some time to really, summer up this courage to be in front of you and talk to you and reach out to you. And here I am.
Well, we are excited to have you. And if you don't mind, let's start on the day that you had your NDE and go from there.
Gosh, I have cried so much before. I had COVID. I never thought that I was going to get it, but it did. It was terrible. I felt like a truck had run over me. I was in bed for a week. I was feeling very weak, withering. I lost a lot of weight. I lost my hair. I lost my fingernails, vitamins. I was really kind of ready to die, actually. And the night before I got out of my body, I kind of took a glimpse of this heaven thing, it was like a blink of an eye. I was out of the body and I came back immediately. I just felt this shivering and I came back. And I thought to myself, wow, what was that? Because it was so intense, but it was so fast at the same time. And then the next night, I totally got out of my body. I felt like this, lightness. I felt free. It was so, I was like a feather. I didn't feel any pain whatsoever. Nothing. I actually, I didn't even remember who I was after a certain point. At a certain point, I didn't remember about Earth. I didn't remember my family, my friends, anybody. No, nobody. And then it started like, I saw this scene from an accident, a car accident. There was a body laying on the ground. And I felt like, what is that? But it wasn't me, it was somebody else. And then this voice started talking to me, like I'm talking to you. And he asked me, I want to show you something. I want to show you that you never die. Really? We never die? Mm-mm. There's no way. You never die. You always go on. All of a sudden, he lifted up kind of a vase, a very big vase. Those ones that, are in front of the shopping malls with palm trees. Very big one, very lofty, very heavy. And he thrust it on a street lamp. I was like, what was that? Why did you do that? Well, it's simple. I wanted to show you that you never die. But how? Well, the vase is broken. So you go on. Now I'm going to get this soil that is inside, and I'm going to put this plant in another vase. And the plant goes on flourishing. And that's the soul. And I said, really? That simple? Yeah. You don't feel anything. There's no pain. There's nothing. That's it. Okay. And he took me by the hand and he said, okay, now I want to show you heaven. Like in a blink of an eye, I was there. When I got there, I saw these colors. It was like, I was in awe. They were like deeper shades. The blue was not the same blue that we see here. The yellow, the red. And I've always been very fond of, plants and art and stuff. I was like, with my mouth open all the time, like in ecstasy, like, oh my gosh. And you can talk to the callers. It's like, and then some beings started to join in the conversation. But if you ask me, do you remember the faces? Do you recall the faces? No. And that's the one part that, oh my gosh, I wish I could remember, because as I have heard, it's like your spiritual guide is with you. And they were started talking to me. I felt like they all loved me. They were all very elated to see me. And I've never felt this here. I always felt like I was a freak here. Like, people don't even care about you here. Whereas on the other side, everybody wants to be with you. They want to be part of this, thrill. I don't know. They want to be with. It's like we separate when we come here, but once we're there, it's like everybody wants to be with you all the time. It's like going into a parade or something. And he wanted to show me the activities, and that's the part that really intrigued me, because it was like there are a lot of circle. I just could see little eyes, just eyes, dancing in circles. Lots of them, millions of them. It was like a ballroom full of people dancing, and they were all so happy and talking to each other. And then I looked down. Oh my gosh, I have no body. It's like, it felt like I had a body, but it was not transparent. And they were dancing and dancing and dancing. And then I got tired. And then an angel said, you may sit down if you want to. But there was a lesson on the sitting down. And the lesson was, when you get tired of something, people usually get depressed, like a job. You don't want to do it anymore, and you're forced to keep doing it, and you don't want to do it, like an activity with somebody, or you usually say yes, whereas you didn't want to say this, you wanted to say no, but you just said yes, and you went with the flow. And the lesson was, whenever you get tired of something, you got to move on. Don't dwell on things that you don't like. That was the first thing that really intrigued me, like, because we're forced to do so many things here. You have to be in this job that you don't like. You have to be with these people that you don't feel comfortable with. And then also you can change. You can change. And then you can go to other activities. You can study if you want to. You can travel around the planet if you want to. Eventually you get tired, because it looks like it's forever. And then you kind of down and you're like, I can do something else. And then you change your body because of this. Once you get tired, you're ready to go to another way of life. And there was something that was intriguing me, and I was trying to touch some angels, I don't know, asking this question, excuse me, what is this? What is this sound? What is this melody? I've always been fond of making music. And this is one thing that really got me. I didn't even know how to start the note of the song. It was like the beating of the heart, but in a song, in a melody. I was like, I couldn't even talk, because I was like, oh, what is this melody? My God, it's making me feel so happy. I've never felt this happy before in my life. Like, what is this? I don't know what they said about this, to be honest with you. I got out of this experience like this melody really stuck on me. And I wanted to try to make it, on my own musical devices, but I couldn't even start. It was like impossible. And it was so sweet. It was so good. It made your heart feel good. Your whole body felt like in ecstasy, like a volcano eruption, like, oh gosh, like an orgasm, feeling good. And then they kept walking the way that they do, like flowing, not like just walking like we do here. And then one of them said, now we are going to see the sun. Really? Oh my God. I love the sun. So there is something inside the sun, like another galaxy with other beings. There is, I know there is. When I was about to go there, an angel grabbed me by the hand and said, you have to come back. Oh no. Come back to where? You have to come back. You're not ready. Your mission hasn't ended. You have to go back to Earth. Oh no. I kept weeping and weeping. I was like crying. I didn't want to come. But no, I really got like a rebel. I rebelled up. Like, no, I don't want to come back. No, I want to stay here. This is where I belong. I don't belong there. There's only suffering. It's like in a moment you start remembering what's Earth like. It's like, the suffering, people separated from one another. We have these wars, so many troubles. And in this place that I was, everything was like love. It was serene. It's like everybody, it felt like you belong to that place. You were natural from that place. We are not from here. We are just here for a little while. And it felt like time, it was like forever. I really lost track of time. Like, time doesn't exist there, only here. And then he said, you have to come back. Oh, I wanted to see the sun. I wanted to see what's inside. No, you're not ready. You have to come back. Your mission hasn't ended. But here's what you have to do. This virus that you have inside of your lungs wants to dry up your lungs. So you have to drink a lot of water to get it expelled. So you get those bottles of Coca-Cola that you guys drink down there. Is that right? Like that. You drink, this Coca-Cola that you drink down there, empty it and put a lot of water and start drinking like crazy. When it came to me, like I was back again. I was here again. But this melody was still lingering, like the beating of the heart. And then I started right away. I need to drink water. I need to drink water. And water, like I got 2 bottles of water and I started drinking like crazy. Really, a lot. Jeff, the next day, I was fully recovered from COVID. Even before my result came positive, because there were lots of people in line. COVID was taking over here, like everybody was catching it. And then I got well the next day. Of course, I had, to go to the doctors because my nails fell, my hair was weakening. It was really, I felt like a mess, really. I lost a lot of weight because I couldn't eat. I didn't have a smell, nothing, just water. And I was talking about this to a girl and she said, well, I drink a lot of water too. And I go, wow. What I came to understand is that water is God. You have to drink God. That's the only food for us here. We need to drink a lot of water. And If you talk to the water, it gets better. You know, it's like elixir. Like when you drink it, you feel good. And I start feeling good. 2 or 3 bottles of water a day, and then I felt good. Then I went to the doctors, got the medicines that I had to take. It was like magical for me. I really felt good the other day, drinking this water. And then, I was like in awe, like, what happened to me? All these beings, just coming to talk to me. It really took me some time to really, cool down and okay, maybe it was a hallucination or something. I didn't know what it was. I kept talking to some people here and there. And then one day I typed in on YouTube, maybe 2 months or, uh, after that. And I type in something about dying. I don't know. And then I got your show.
And I'm glad you found me.
I, what I, it was funny because there was this lady and she was talking about the same melody. That was really got me, the melody. She was talking about this heavenly melody that was playing everywhere, but it was not interfering with activities or anything. It was just this melody on the back of everything. There was this melody. Everything was, like God was singing. One day I was watching this Bob Marley movie, and there came a part. Somebody was like, playing the tun tun, and it came, and I started crying during the movie. And my friend, what are you doing? You're crying? Yeah, because this sound made me remember about my NDE. I think it's like that. I think it's the beating of the heart that it turns into music for us to forget our suffering. And that's what happened to me. And there were lots of activities like studying, like I said, traveling all over galaxy, but you have to be ready for that. It's not meant for everybody the same thing. I think it depends on your karma, what to do over here. I didn't see any kind of hellish thing, nothing. When I came back, I felt better. I felt the presence of God in everything that I see, in plants and people. My life started to change profoundly because of this. Now I see people with other eyes. And I don't follow religion anymore. Before, I was kind of getting into the Hare Krishna movement. I had to get out because from what people talk about, it looks like it's Krishna that is up there. But I don't want to worship Krishna here on an institution. I want to worship this God, this kind God, helping people, being my best, being kind to everybody. I keep saying to everybody, if you want to be rich, it's not about having money. It's about being kind. Because once you're kind, all the doors open to you. You don't even need to touch money when you're kind. And don't expect anything from people. Expect nothing because God is making you breathe this life here. This is the best gift of all. I start, meditating much more. I was meditating before this so-called NDE that I didn't know it was that. But after this, I think it kind of intensified. There was a time before my NDE, my father, he lost his 2 legs during the pandemic. He was a lifeguard. He was an athletic kind of guy. And he lost his 2 legs. Now we have to take care of him. I had to halt everything in my life because of that, because we were in hospital, we were taking care of him all the time. He was suffering from severe pain, and I had to chop them off. One day I was meditating, and next to me sat Jesus Christ. When I looked at his face, oh my God, he came into my meditation and started to talk to me. He started talking and said, Narciso. He just said one quick message and left. Narciso, don't let this world take your smile away. And he left. I cried for a week because of this, because it felt so good to really having him just by my side. It's funny because I never talked about Jesus Christ before. I talked about Krishna, I talked about Buddha, Caitanya, all the other beings, but not Jesus Christ, because it's so overrated. Like everybody talks about Jesus because they want money. And it's not this. Religion is not this. Religion is all wrong. Religion is not about money. It's about the real perfect yoga. It's like giving yourself to people, giving your best, helping them out without judging, because we judge so much here. We just because this guy doesn't have money, or this is poor, or this is that. Oh, you just have 10 followers, or you just have this. No, we are getting all wrong the message from God and on this planet. We need to stop this ignorance going on by loving people for what they are, because we are all the same. You can be rich, you can be poor, you're still the same. So we just spread like the sands of the, like grains of sand. But we all together, we all entwined. But people forget it. Once we get here, we forget about it. We forget that we are just one. And whatever you do, it comes back to you. Whoever you point to, it's you. Because we're afraid to live in this planet with this technology, separating everybody. That's why we're having a lot of, this severe weather storms, because God wants us to be together, and we are separate. I think we are relinquishing a person. We don't need people anymore, and we are substituting people to machines, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. I know internet is good. It helps, a lot of stuff. I teach English through the internet. I make money through the internet. But now people, everywhere you go, people are like this. They're away from God. That's why they suffer. We are suffering a lot because of this. We are chasing things that doesn't nurture the soul. And we need this. We need people. We need to help them without expecting anything in return. But just give love. Think positively. Oh, people talk bad about you behind your back. This is not God. God is kind. It's good. It's a friend. It's a lover, And this is a message that I got from the other side. Like, be God is to be kind. That's all. Whatever you dream, whatever you want, it's going to come from this kindness that you give to the world, that you give to nature. I see a lot of people, here in Campeche Beach. They litter the beach. They don't care about nature. No wonder they get cancer. They get all kinds of disease because they are throwing trash in the face of Mother Nature. What is the consequence of this? You're going to suffer. You're going to be lonely. You're going to feel like nobody likes you, that nobody cares for you because you don't care for nature. You're killing more than you're supposed to. You eat unnecessary things. You want just money, 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 money. But this money is destroying yourself. And then you have to come back over and over again. You go and come back to the same thing that you were doing until one day you realize, I have to love. I have to love my parents. I have to love my friends. I have to love everybody that is around me. And if you start doing this, you really, start living better. Your health gets better. Everything comes to you if you get this contact with nature. Mother Nature needs you. And we're doing all wrong. We are separating ourselves from each other. And that's the message that I got from this heavenly place that I was in. I didn't even know it was an NDE. Thanks to you, that now I can talk about NDE. Never thought about it before. And it was such a revealing experience of God and love and so much beauty. My gosh, I don't even know how to describe precisely, because it was so I've never seen such thing like this. It was so beautiful. It was so nice. Well, it was like everybody was happy, chanting and dancing, and everybody was busy being happy. And you want to make everybody happy at the same time. It was so good. It was really refreshing to see that. I wish I could see this in the world.
Let me ask you a question here. Do you feel that the lesson of being tired meant that you can get tired of being in heaven and that's why we come back, or we get tired of a certain life and while we're on earth and then we want to change lives?
Yes, we get tired very easily on any activity that we're doing, because you're not doing it with love. You're doing it because you want something in return. You want this job because you want money. And then eventually it gets you tired. It gets you feeling sick, burned out, because it's not what you wanted to do. Oh, you want to, because you are watching people on Facebook, on Instagram, and they all traveling, having these wonderful lives, and just start comparing yourself to them. And then you kind of get misled of your, I would say, your mission here. Of course, it's good to make money, but honestly, doing what you enjoy, it helps a lot of people. But doing what you just do just for the money, you're not helping yourself at all. And I think once we get bored doing what we're doing, it's time to change and move on to other things. But we always comparing. That's why we're always going to be kind of depressed here, because we're comparing ourselves to other people all the time. We don't follow our callings from the heart. Oh, I want to be an artist. How about artists don't make money? So you're gonna be an architect because you make money, but you're gonna be unhappy. You could find yourself being an artist if you want to, but you don't believe in yourself enough to keep doing it, for example. And it's so funny because after this NDE, I started painting. I used to do it before, but the kind of culture that I come from, it says that, oh, this is for girls. This is not meant for boys to deal with art and colors and stuff. But after this NDE, I started painting kind of, meditative paintings. And everybody like, oh, I like this painting. It kind of makes me feel so peaceful. And I love it. And I started studying arts therapy because of this. I think that I can help a lot of people, finding themselves through art. And I'm so happy doing this. The blue is not the same blue anymore for me. It's different. Everything has changed. All the colors, everything has changed.
Do you think being an artist is your mission here?
I have no idea. But I think everybody's an artist because we are always creating stuff. We are gods. G, generators. O, organizers. D, destroyers. We are doing this over and over. We have to restart. We have to reinvent ourselves all the time. We have to put out on the food that we eat, the things that we do, the jobs that we do. Everybody's an artist. But if you just want to be an artist to make money, I don't think it's a good idea. Money is a consequence of your love. If you don't love enough, it's gonna kill you. Oh, people say, why don't you sell your paintings? No, they're not for sale. It's for me, for me to heal myself. I like to watch them. I like to look at them, not just to make money. This is one of the things that I didn't want to get in touch with you before because I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be in this influencer. I don't want to be these things. I just want to live my life like I want to be free. I want to do what I enjoy, not because I have to make money on that. Because we were raised on that. You have to make money, you have to make money. But what if you find what you love? Money comes naturally. You didn't even think about it. I love what I do. I love teaching. I love art, but it's a consequence. I've been doing this ever since I was like 5 years old. Like English came to me when I was like 5. A voice came to me and said, you need to learn a foreign language because you're going to travel the world. I didn't know it was English.
The voice that told you that you need to learn English, is that the same voice that you heard when you first crossed over?
I've always been listening to this voice.
Who
Even
is
my
that voice?
methodology, I think it's God in my heart. It's got to be because it's the same tone of voice. When I was 5, I didn't know anything about life, right? I lost my mother when I was 4. Sometimes I wonder, could that be my mother talking to me? Because from time to time I have this dream that talks to me and says, do this. And I just follow, and it happens, and it works. I didn't want to be just an English teacher. I wanted to come up with something different. And then this voice said, pay attention to the people, the way they talk when they meet each other for the first time. What do they talk about? And then it came to me something very interesting, and it's been like 18 years doing the same thing for everybody, the same methodology, and it's been working. It's been working. It's like in 13 sessions, you were able to speak a second language. Not fluently. I'm not going to say, oh, I guarantee that you're going to speak. You have to put your love into it. And I remember because I had a teacher and he said, I was having some troubles, even though English, okay, it came from this voice and everything, but I had to work hard for that. And there was a point that I was kind of getting kind of frustrated because so much information. And my teacher said, talk to the universe. Talk to the universe. And one night I was like, God, help me. I want to learn this language. Help me. I don't know what happened, but in a matter of months, I was speaking more smoothly. And then people started noticing that I was speaking better and better without a lot of accent. Nobody thinks I'm from here. Everywhere that I go, people ask, where are you from? Oh, I thought you were French or Indian or Arabic, or they don't think I'm from here. Because the universe has always helped me. But you need to ask. You need to get down in silence and talk to the silence. Everybody has this power inside. Once you get yourself connected with this light, anything can happen. It's not what people say, it's what you believe inside. And it's always happened to me like this. I had a couple of dreams. Most of my dreams are very good dreams. I don't have like those dreams that, oh my God. There was a dream that I died during my dream. I was skating and some guys saw me and they shot me and killed me. Inside this dream, I came back and talked to them. Why did you kill me? I was living so happily. And now I have to start all over again because of you. And I got very frustrated because of this, because they shut me down. Like, why did you do that? Oh, because we thought you were going to call the police, but I did this. I was just passing through with my skate, like, and you killed me. So my soul was like talking inside the dream. It was so crazy. Once I had this dream that the world was ending, but it was ending because the extraterrestrials, they were all destroying everything. There was a blood, shed everywhere. There was blood everywhere. They were, taking down airplanes and everything. They had some different shotguns, something like. They were killing everybody. They didn't want to. Nobody would be alive in this dream. I was, oh my gosh! And then my plane, they forced landing and they killed everybody inside. And when one looked at me, and he didn't kill me, and I woke up like, why didn't he kill me? Why didn't he kill me? Up to this day, I don't know this answer, but I do believe they exist. There are many civilizations out there. Many, many.
You mentioned that you couldn't make out the faces of beings while you were in heaven, but
Don't remember
but
any.
but you do speak of interacting with angels.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you saw angels, and if you did, what do they look like?
I don't remember exactly. Oh, they have wings and everything. No, I can say that because it felt like they were like us, like talking to us with this higher knowledge that they got. They were very kind, very friendly. Um, but this one that said that you are not ready, you have to come back right now. He didn't even, bother to kind of argue with me. He just let me cry, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to come back and everything. He didn't do anything because he said that my mission is not finished. I have to come back. And so I did.
Once you came back, how did your friends and family notice the new you? Or what kind of comments did they make?
I'm different. I'm different in a way that I don't know how to say this, but I'm different. I feel more love from people. Kind of about 6 months ago, we lost a niece. My niece died of cancer. She was 36 years old. Everybody was crying. I couldn't cry because I knew she was good. She was in a good place. And it's so funny because 2 days ago, there came a message on my Instagram with her picture. When I clicked, it disappeared. And I started talking. Hey, Nata, I know you were there. You want to say something to me? I'm here. I've always had this bond. She used to live in Australia. And she came to Brazil to say goodbye to us. And she said that while she was in the hospital, she had a dream with me about me. And she said that I had my backpack on, telling her, come on, Renata, let's go. Let's get out of this planet. Was like, and she said to me, I started crying. But then 2 days after this, she died. But I know she's in the right place. There's no pain in this place. There's no disease. There's no decay, and there's nothing. It's perfect. It's perfect. The way I saw these beings having fun, playing with each other, learning, busy. I don't see this on this planet. I don't.
If there's so much suffering here, why do we come here?
I think we come here to love, to learn how to love. As I said before, people, throwing trash on the beach. They don't know how to love nature. Oh, it's going to recycle itself. No, it's not. It's your action that counts. And you have to come back until one day you learn how to make anybody or anything suffer. And we're here to learn that, everybody's special. Everybody's a light. You cannot diminish this light. You need to be kind to everything that you see. And that's one thing that my family says, that I'm different because I don't argue anymore. It's been 5 years I've been meditating. So many things have changed in my life. I get these ideas from God and I apply them. They work. Do this, I do this. I don't even know how to paint, but once I got the brush, wonderful things start to happen.
Can we see one of your paintings?
I don't have it right here. I was not prepared for that to talk about my.
That's okay. I'm curious.
I don't have it here, really. I don't. And I didn't want to take any lessons or anything. I didn't want to go online and watch, tutorials and stuff. I wanted to really learn from inside, because on my meditation the first year, there used to come some images of a green forest, and there were some beings that were giving me a kind of a portion, a red portion, for me to heal something. And it kept on repeating on and on for a year. And then all of a sudden, all these images disappeared. Now I want to see black and there's a light in front of me. That's all I see. And I cannot go by without meditation. I have to do it as soon as I wake up, before I blink 10 times, and before I go to bed. That's what keeps me going here. Meditation, yoga, and as I said, be kind to people and don't expect anything. They're gonna feel it. I don't want to sound like, oh, I'm being, narcissistic here. Oh, I'm kind because I want something. No, that's why it kept me it took me a long time to get in touch with you, because I didn't want to sound like I want to be this spiritual thing and telling people what to do, and I didn't want that. I just write everything down, and so many things have changed. So many things, in my life.
You mentioned that you were talking to the colors. Can you
Yeah.
expand on that?
It's like little beings, little flash of lights, and they all have. It's like they are like us, but smaller particles. They're all laughing, and they were everywhere. Everywhere, everything that you touch here, you can see that, right? Because it's solid, but it's all alive. It's all alive. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's like it's speechless. I get speechless because it's something that I've never seen in this world. It's such beauty that I've never. I can't describe it. It's not being a beautiful woman or a man, or it's not like that. It's something beyond this conception of beauty that we have here on this earth. It's different. It's pure love. Makes you cry. Makes you smile. I don't know. It's so magical.
You mentioned that you had this voice when you were young, before the NDE. Did you have
Yes.
any other paranormal experiences before the NDE?
I was at this birthday party. I think I was like 6 years old. Time suddenly stopped. Like, I could see people, and I was here. And it's so funny because I used to even raise my head and talk to this voice like this. Oh, and I was afraid that I didn't want people to catch me doing this, because they would call me nuts or anything like this. But I used to raise my head like this and talk to them. Oh, okay. I felt like they were guiding me. And English came to me, for me, it's like a trade. Like, I lost my mother. I cried until I was like 12 years old. And they gave me English to kind of ease up my pain here, because it's terrible when you lose a mother in your family. Being raised just by my father, just one opinion. You don't have two opinions. My life has been very difficult because of this. Some things that I wanted to do, I couldn't. But I've always felt that she's with me. This mother from this earth, but there are many other mothers, of course. But she's with me. And this voice has always been with me. It's funny. I know there are many people who feel the same way. There's this voice guiding them. If you follow this intuition, you can go wrong in this life.
Have you ever asked yourself the question, why did I have this NDE? And if so, what is your answer?
Maybe because I was selfish. Maybe I was brought up to be selfish. And it's a wrong path.
So are you saying that the NDE was a course correction for you?
Yes. It was a loving lesson for me, to see people with different eyes, with more spiritual eyes, and it really did change something. Has changed. Something has changed, of course. I'm better. I feel better. I feel like dying is something that I don't think about it anymore. All I want now is to live to the fullest. I want to do it. I want to live life to the fullest, because it's not a good business for you to die. Actually, it's not a good business. You're here because you need to help people to rekindle their love inside. And once you start doing this to everybody, if you do good to me, consequently, I'm going to do good to other people. And the light keeps going on and on. But if you do bad, you lose it. So I learned this lesson. I have to be kinder and, without expecting anything. And things have been working for me. Because of this, I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not afraid. I feel like anything can happen, but of course I have to look back, right? I have to look, I don't want to die like, okay, I'm going to throw myself in front of a car and be run over by this. No, I want to live life to the fullest. And that's the lesson here. And once you're gone from here, you don't even notice. You don't even notice. There's no pain. There's nothing. It's just like turning off the light. Say goodbye to some people and say hello to others at the same time. There's no ending. And this is beautiful. This has given me a lot of strength. And watching your shows and seeing those people saying the same things, it really strengthened my faith here. My faith in God, not in religion. I don't believe in religion. I believe in God.
Well, I know you don't want to be famous, but after watching this podcast, people may want to ask you questions. Are you open to that?
Yeah, it's okay. Talking about kindness is always something very interesting. It kind of makes people light up to love. And there's some things that you can do to humble yourself. Yeah, sure. I'm open to people who want to talk to me.
What's the best way to contact you?
I think it's through my email, campecheingles@gmail.com. It's CampecheIngles@gmail.com.
If somebody wants to see your art, do you have it posted on Instagram or anywhere else?
Do you believe that I don't post? I don't. I don't post. I have my friends say, "Oh, you need to post it because it's good for the people to see it." I'm kind of working on that. I'm kind of, trying to convince myself on that.
Do you,
Because in one thing, I've always been told that I was intelligent and this and that, so I really got tired of this.
do you think you can paint elements of your NDE?
I paint a lot of skies and stars and galaxies and the forests. There's this element of water that is almost everywhere. Now I'm getting into architecture. I've never. There are some things that are kind of coming to me that I never thought I was. On third grade, I got this contest. I won first prize for the best drawing at school. So they chose me and they gave me a diploma on that, and it was the beginning for me. But at 11 years old, my father said that I had to stop because this is not for a boy. It's a girl thing. And after my meditation, it's kind of rekindled, and I started doing it again because of that. The repetition of the scenery that it was coming into my meditation, and I started, and then the NDE kind of boosted it. Like started doing more.
After your
I feel
NDE,
much better now doing art. Kind of heal myself.
after your NDE, did you notice that you had any new abilities that you didn't have before that could be considered psychic?
I think I can read some people's mind. I know what they're gonna say before, they say something. I sense this, and I know that everybody's looking for an answer in this life to be happier. And the only way to do it, not the only way, but one of the ways to do it, is to not compare yourself to others. Because we are all the same. There's no comparison. If you call that person ugly, oh, she is fat or she's this, you're doing all wrong. We are all the same. It's all an illusion. We are all the same. It's all an illusion.
When you say it's all an illusion, are you saying that this reality is even not real here?
Certainly, it's not like I've seen it there. It's very different. Here is more solid. There's pain here, but we kind of provoke this pain. Whereas up there, up there, it's everything is magical. Everything is free. Everybody's a friend. Everybody wants to see you doing good. It's like you have to work as well. There's jobs over there. You have to do lots of stuff, and everybody's striving to do the better, to do their best. There's no competition for doing this best. Whereas here we have a lot of competition. People want to be the first one. I want to be famous, and they kind of, throw their lives away because of this. They waste so much time just thinking about being famous. I'm working on that, with the paintings, but I don't want recognition or anything, because I'm doing this for God. Whatever you do, if you do it for God, a cake, coffee, painting, clothes, anything, if you do it like thinking this is for God and not for people, man, you're going to be successful on anything that you put your hands on. If you transfer the energy to God, this is to God. This is for you. I'm going to get my best wave to God. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be wonderful. Anything that you do, if you think like this, oh, I'm going to give this class, but it's not going to be to people. It's going to be to the souls of people that are here. They need this. You're doing your podcast. You're doing this to souls. They all want this knowledge. Because once we get here, we don't remember anything about heaven. And your job, what you're doing here is awesome. You're bringing hope to people to live a better life down here. This war has to be stopped immediately. We need to stop all these wars. It's why? Because we want to be better than the other country. We're all human. We are all souls. living in this body. We are trapped in this body, but we are all souls. We always go on, you know, and you don't take anything with you. Anything. Only love. And whatever you're doing here is not in vain. It's not in vain. All the knowledge that you're gathering here is not in vain. You take with you. The same consciousness, that's what I felt. The same consciousness that I have here, I had there. I knew it was a singular soul over there in the midst of so many other souls, but I was myself the same way I think here, but more open, more loving, more joyful. You know, I cannot explain like this. I have never, you know, seen this kind of joy here, ever. It's funny. It's kind of alien.
Well, Narciso, before we finish up, can you leave us with one last positive message?
Love your neighbors. Love the people that you see in the streets. Love the immigrants. Love everybody. Be kind to people. And whatever you do it for God. It doesn't matter the kind of love the kind of God that you believe. Because all kinds of God is just one, goodness. So you need to be good to people. And try not to compare yourself to other people, because you might win some things, but you're always losing if you do that. So don't compare. Help those. There's no competition. Oh, he's gonna run away with my ideas. No, because it's not you. It doesn't have your touch. So the sun shines for everybody. So you don't need to be afraid of losing. There's no losing. You're always winning. And do everything, whatever you do in this life, do it for God. I guarantee you're going to have a good life. And just be kind. Be kind, because that's what we need. That's the medicine that we need here, to love one another. It doesn't matter about your race, about your gender. It doesn't matter about anything if you're rich or poor. If you just accept people for the way they are, the way they look, you're loving God. And that's what matters here. We are here for God, for having this experience here. And once you come back over there, we're gonna say, oh, I did this, I did that. Oh, I'm so proud of you, did that. That's what God wants. This energy wants us to feel proud here, to feel good, to wake up and say, thank you, God. I have another day to shine, and I'm gonna try my best today. I'm gonna say sorry to the people that I hurt. I'm gonna say, I love you. I'm gonna love the elderly. I'm gonna love anybody. And if you try to do this, I guarantee your life is gonna become fuller, much better.
Narciso, thank you for your message, and thank you for being my guest.
Oh, it's such a pleasure to be with you, to be on your show that has given me so much hope in my life. Thank you so much for opening up, to these wonderful people that you interview. They reveal so much good and valuable information about life and how to live here. As I said before, it's like going to a psychologist. It's even much better than this, because the kind of people that you brought into the show, man, they are all stars. So thank you for this opportunity.
And
Because I didn't want to exit this planet. Because of this, I wanted to share this message with my soul friends all over the world. Thank you so much. I'm really honored to be your guest.
well, thank you for being one of those people that you mentioned on my show.
Thank you so much. They are all beautiful people, beautiful souls. That's why they have come back, because they have such valuable messages to give to people. Whatever they're doing, wherever they are this flash of lights trying to convince people that the best way to live life is to love yourself and love everybody around you. Thank you.
Thanks for watching the JeffMara podcast. I really appreciate you. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. And if you do, there are loyalty badges and other perks depending on your level of membership. All you need to do is click the join button underneath the video to find out more. Thank you for your support.